I have this great auntie, and just to let you know how far back she goes, she's my grandmother's aunt. And I remember visiting her as a kid, and she would always have Afghans and tea cozies and pot holders around the house that she had crocheted by hand herself. And she was always a calm woman. And she would always say, everything in moderation. It's okay to dabble here and it's okay to dabble there, but just don't go overboard. And so one day she was sitting on the sofa and she was knitting, crocheting. My mom and I used to spend weeks with her, during spring break, Labor Day weekend, things like that. And I asked her if she could show me how, and she said sure, and she got some old yarn that she had in a plastic bag, and I remember the hook size, it was G, G hook, and she showed me how to create a chain, and that was part of my inspiration, And then it ended up turning from crocheting into knitting, and from knitting into weaving, and just things with textures and colors, just bright, beautiful things that I can touch, that are tactile, that, just draw out a lot of feeling and emotions, Yeah, so that's one of my first inspirations was Birdie Bird, my great aunt.
Do you remember why you wanted to have her show you that? Was there something that you thought?
I was just always curious, Like I said, everything was just around the house. It was just a part of her. And I guess I wanted to know more about her, And when we would sit together, she would share stories about, her brothers and sisters. She came from a family of 25 from Texas. And she would just talk about her life and, well, my sisters taught me how to crochet, And I believe she was the youngest of the children. Or, no, that would be my Uncle Fowler. He was the youngest. That I was just curious to know, what her life was like. And it was like a sharing moment. And even now, if I'm working on a project, on a piece, and I'm on the bus or on BART, and, people kind of take notice and they look and then they want to share their experiences with me, Oh, I remember when my grandmother used to crochet and she would make these blankets for me for Christmas or sweaters or, whatever it may be. So I think, too, it's like, I guess it's like art as a communicator, bringing people closer together. And it's the same thing with the Art of Living Black. It's like each year it brings us all together. We may not see each other year round, but, at that moment at the reception or at the convention center or even at our individual studios, it brings us out and together.
And what is it you think that it's communicating, that your art's communicating to the people?
I'm kind of shy and kind of quiet, but I hope that it would communicate just the love that I have for texture. Before I would create these small pieces, small bags. I call them Orisha bags. And they're just like tiny little things that you can hold in your hands, And I like to have them framed because it creates a sacredness. So maybe it's kind of like a quiet storm, So on the outside, I'm just this, down-to-earth, average person, I would say. But then there's so much more going on in the inside.